Hello, it's Jack again. This is part 2 with Jakai Perfumes. I want to talk a little bit tonight about some of the fragrances that I've designed before we get into our later videos that will talk about the aroma molecules, which are located here, to design these fragrances, to really come up with your own fragrance. One of the fragrances I have is the jasmine. It's a single note floral jasmine. It has about 20% natural jasmine oil, Egyptian jasmine. There's several other components that are involved. Benzyl acetate is one. It's an aroma molecule. Several that we'll talk about later, but just wanted to touch on some of these to give you an idea of what we're in store for later. The next fragrance, this is Naked. This fragrance actually is a white floral. It also has some jasmine notes in it, but white jasmine. Something called Glaxolid, which is a very mild musk. It smooths over the fragrance and makes it very rounded. Something we'll talk about later. It's located right here, but again, we have plenty of fragrances to go through. This fragrance is exotic. This I designed about 10 years ago. It's my #1 selling fragrance. If you like vanilla, this has a slight vanilla note to it, with a vanilla bean extract, some cedarwood oil behind it, a few other things. Again, most of those components are that are in this fragrance are basically on the table here. We'll talk about them in the fragrance organ presentation. This fragrance is called Extrait. This is something that I wear all the time. Really kind of a heavy patchouli based fragrance. A lot of cedarwood, sandalwood, Eastern Indian sandalwood. Several components that are based off of that. And for instance, just a little bit of insight about components. Sandalwood itself, the oil is extracted, it's compressed, it's broken down into aroma molecules, and the main molecule is called sandalwood. The second one is sandif. There's several, but sandalwood is in here, and that's what gives it the richness of sandalwood. It's the heart of sandalwood. So hope that's enticing for you to learn about the later perfumer's organ. This one is called Silk. Silk is very light. Most of my clients like to wear it during the day. It's very subtle. It has tuberose in it. And some components that are derived from the tuberose, as I talked about earlier with the sandalwood. Very nice fragrance, very light. Most women seem to like that quite a bit. The thing is, most of these fragrances, well, all of the fragrances are really gender neutral for men or women. I don't design fragrances based on one gender or another. I base them on how I feel, what I'm wanting to compose at the time. So the compositions are completely original and based off what I like. This fragrance is Jakai. It's a signature scent. If you're a patchouli lover, this particular fragrance has 4 different types of patchouli for 4 different regions of China. China is the main not manufacturer, but distributor of patchouli oil, and several other components. A lot of cedarwood, a lot of sandalwood, hint of jasmine. Some components from that family, which are in here, which we'll talk about later again in part 1 of the perfumer's organ. Thank you very much. Again, the website is www.jakiparfums, Parfums.com. Thank you.